All right, what's everybody doing out there in Math Magic Land today? Hopefully you're making it a great day. So today, in today's video, what Mr. Muscarella is going to show you guys how to do is when you're given an XY point on the coordinate plane, how to figure out which sides are the opposite ones and which sides are the adjacent ones. All right, so we're going to take a look at some examples that were similar to what we did in the last video. So if we take a look at these problems right here, these couple of problems from the last time, what I want you to do is notice a couple of things. The first thing that I want you to think about is like, okay, the first coordinate is X and the second coordinate is Y. So that's something we have to be aware of anytime we're plotting our points, right? Our X is our first coordinate and our Y is our second coordinate. Now, the Y, so I'm going to talk about the Y coordinate first. So wherever theta is, opposite that is going to be, that's going to be the opposite side. So wherever theta is, the opposite side is going to be where that opposite goes. Now, if I look at example 2, I would have the value of 3. So 3 would be where the opposite side is. If I go down to example 4, so let's kind of zoom in here on example 4 a little bit. So the opposite side here is going to be -3. Again, -3 is your Y coordinate, and your Y coordinate is going to be your opposite. And then lastly, let's take a look here at example 3. Your Y coordinate here, opposite theta, is going to be -3. Again, so your Y coordinate, your opposite side, is always going to be the Y coordinate. So the opposite side is going to be the Y coordinate. All right, always, always, always. And then if that's the Y coordinate, then that means the X coordinate, of course, will be the adjacent side. And there's one other pattern with that. So here in example 1, that would be the adjacent side would be 8. In example number 2, the adjacent side would be -8. In example number 4, so going down, -8 would be the adjacent side there, and +8 would be the adjacent side for example number 3. Now, one thing that I want you to also, another pattern to potentially pay attention to or pick up on in here, the X coordinate is always going to be the side that's along the X axis. So that's going to be the leg of your triangle that's always on the on the X axis. So the adjacent side, so that's on X axis. Always. All right, and the opposite side, is that Y value, is the leg of the triangle that is not on the Y axis. So that's the leg that extends either up or down, depending on if that Y coordinate is positive or negative. So the Y coordinate, of course, is not on the X axis. So that's another way you can kind of think about those. So X and Y are adjacent and opposite. The X coordinate is on the X axis and the Y coordinate is not on the Y axis. Now, one other thing I want you to kind of think about as we work through these kind of problems, traditionally when you're finding the hypotenuse, so your X and Y coordinates could be positive, they could be negative, just depends which quadrant they're in, but the hypotenuse is always, always, always going to be positive. No matter what. No matter which quadrant it's in, the hypotenuse will be positive. Now, traditionally, you will generally use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. You'll use the Pythagorean theorem to help you find the hypotenuse. Now, in the unit circle, when you start studying this part in trig, instead of a, b, and c, you're going to use x for the value of a, you're going to use y for the value of b, and you're going to use r for the value of c. So x squared plus y squared equals r squared. And in physics class, instead of r squared, sometimes it might be a z squared, or sometimes we're dealing with three dimensions in 3D. So there's a lot of different things you could work with on that. But use x squared plus y squared equals r squared for these kind of problems because you're dealing with the xy coordinates in the coordinate plane. All right, so that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this clears some of that up, and make it a great day. Peace out.